All right, Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasha Allah, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. All right, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, in the names of the God, Son, YAHAWASHI. This brother Yasha Allah.
This brother
Brother
Gad.
Cyrek. Brother Cyrek.
Khan, and you want to too, but he going to join in when he got that better Wi-Fi through the Spirit, Lord willing. And so, we'll be going into through the Spirit and Shabbat Shalom to all the 12 that's observing it Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. Much love to y'all. Shalom, Shalom. All right. So we'll be going into, as you can see from the title of this video, right, addressing a certain topic that's in Israel, or maybe not a certain topic, but a controversy, all right, that's in Israel. Because what you have in Israel, when you come into this truth, you understand that you have what's called camps, right? And camps, right? Now, again, we can show camps in the Bible. It's not like that word, oh, it's made up, right? It's not made up. A camp is just a congregation. It's the same thing. You know, I don't know why people kind of separate the two, right? So you have camps and congregations, it's the same thing, right? So, but you have what's called camps. And so you have camps from the One West doctrine, right? Or the One West, persuasion. And you got, certain congregations that may be outside of that who teach a little, some of the same things, but some of the major things that's being taught in those congregations that's outside of that differs, all right, from the mainstream type of camp doctrine, what they call camp doctrine, all right. And some of those things is like Gentile salvation, can the Gentiles be saved and stuff like that, the law, stuff like that. So certain things like that are a different doctrine. Now, here's the thing. We're going to bring out first and foremost what a camp essentially is. It's just a congregation, but we're going to show camps in the scriptures. All right. So first of all, let's go to the book of, let's start with the book of Joel. All right. Chapter 2, I believe I want. All right. Joel chapter 2. Let's see if this word camp is in the Bible, first of all. So let's go to Joel chapter 2 and verse number 9. Whatever the one, what I'm reading.
Slack it, King.
Come
on.
Right. So
brother said Joel chapter 2.
Yeah, Joel 2 and 9. Let's start verse 9. So we're gonna see if the word camp is in the Bible. All right. So go ahead, King.
Slack it, King.
Shalom, King.
Shalom.
Joel chapter 2 and verse 3.
9. Let's start at 9.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 2 and verse 9. And it reads, They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief.
Go ahead.
The sun shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining.
Right.
And Yahawah shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great.
Wait, for his what?
For his camp is very great.
No, the word camp is not in the Bible.
For his camp is very great.
Wait, so we see here that even the Lord, he has a camp. So how can you be against camps if the Lord, he got a camp? Right? So, I mean, we're not understanding. You have to understand that the Most High has a camp, man. So how can you be against camps if the Lord literally has one? That means you against the Most High, right? That's what that means. So it says that he shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great. That's what this word essentially is going into, his army. You understand? That's what a camp essentially is. When you think about camp, you might think about, Edomites camping in the damn woods or somewhere in the mountains, right? That's not what that's talking about. Camp is going into a army, all right? And so when we out there in the highways and byways, that's why we call it camp, right? Brothers going to camp, you know what I'm saying? Where we going to camp? You hear that term, right? And so what that means is, because remember, we're going out and we're teaching the word, and that's likened onto waging warfare, right, against these nations, right, and against the philosophies and doctrines that's upon our people. We waging war against it. Did not the Lord liken us in the book of Second Timothy chapter 2 unto a soldier? So what does a soldier do? Soldiers just sit around all day. He fights wars. He fights battles, right? So that's what we are. We're a camp. We're the Most High's camp. You know what I'm saying? Let's just finish the verse.
Khan, you want to start from the top?
Yeah, Con, you can.
Khan, this book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 11. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
And who can abide it, man? So again, the word camp is in the Bible. So you can't say that it's not in the scriptures. Oh, where is camp at? Where tell me in the Bible where I gotta go teach. Show me in the Bible where I gotta go congregate. Well, in this video, we're gonna tackle all that, man. Because you have camp, so-called, you got camp bashers that's against camps, or camps of evil. It's not in the Bible, right? Can no man tell you nothing? Can't be following, man. We're gonna address these things, right? In the scripture, we're gonna see if the Lord is with camps or he's against it, right? We're just gonna go to the Bible. We're gonna see what he says about it, right? Con, Slack, brother got a precept.
Khan, I got a quick precept.
All right,
Right? Can brothers hear me?
Yeah, Con, brothers can hear you.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, in verse 14. And it reads, And Micah said, Slakia, and Micah said, As Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh saith unto me, that will I speak. So we're going to speak, thus said the Lord, right? We're not going to go off of emotions. We're not going to go off feelings. You know, if Yahweh told us to say something, we're going to say it. If Yahweh told us to do something, we're going to do it, right? So I just wanted to bring it out, though. Brothers got it.
That's right. But sorry, you on mute.
Salakia. This is Romans chapter 3 and verse 4. I got a few precepts to the spirit, king. This is Romans 3 and 4. It says, Yahweh forbid. Yeah, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar. So hey, we're gonna let the Most High be true and every man a liar. We're gonna go a precept upon precept, a line upon line here, a little there, a little, and show these things that the Most High have put in forth for us. And not, like the brother said, not being our feelings and not being emotional about these things. You know, let me get this other precept real quick. Let me get First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 51. This is it reads, Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall you receive great honor and everlasting name. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna recall and remember the acts of our forefathers, what they done. And like the brother said, camps are through the Bible. Camps is something that they have even today. Like when you get drafted from an army, what you gotta go? You gotta go to boot camp. And we all know the Most High is a man of war. And I'm gonna get that. This is Exodus chapter 15 and 30. It says Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. It says, The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So if the Lord is a man of war, he gotta have a camp. He gotta have a what they call it, a draft, to draft the men that he wants to go to war for this thing. Because when brothers, like the brothers, brother Yashala said, when you go to a camp, it's literally a battlefield. It's not necessarily physical. It could get physical, but it's mostly what spiritual battle. We knocking down all doctrines. It's a spiritual realm that's really going on in a sense. But let me get this precept in Exodus chapter 14 and 19 to show that it's always been camp from the beginning. Because people like to say, hey, let's read it from the Torah, or let's read it from the law. Let's go to the law. Exodus chapter 14 and verse 19. It says, And the angel of Yahweh, which went before the camp of Israel, removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. So literally it says the camp of Israel. So Israel in himself is a camp. So the Most High, like the scriptures say, we are soldiers in this thing. We are in the Most High battle. We are in the Lord's army. He's not a man of war and don't have soldiers. He got to have people on the foot doing the work, because he's a general. He's not moving. So you got to have his soldiers maneuvering and going through the course of time, bashing out or thrashing and tearing down all type of a wickedness, which is his army. What kind you got it?
That's right. That's right.
That's mighty precepts, King, mighty precepts. And I want to get this in the book of Zephaniah, because all the camp really is, man, is just, hey, man, we gathering ourselves together. I mean, at the end of the day, So let me get that real quick. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation I desire. So even if you are not, even if you don't want to label yourself as a camp, you're gonna label yourself as a congregation. You're congregating at the end of the day. So that's what a camp is. I mean, if you bashing against camps, and you got different people that they might be against camps, and you got different people that just maybe they're saying whatever they're saying because maybe we're gathering together. I don't know what the case is, but all that really is just we're gathering together. Hey, the Lord said two are better than one. So why are we gonna be, kind of in this thing alone? Well, we gotta find people, do everything we gotta do, to gather ourselves together. And then I got another precept in the book of Exodus chapter 26. I think I want let me see real quick. I want Salakia. Exodus chapter 32 and verse 26. It says, then Moses stood in the gate of the camp and said, who is on the Lord's side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. So, like I said, it's all about just gathering ourselves together at the end of the day, so we can, kind of sharpen each other up. We go out to teach, we look for each other, or we we caught each other's back, and that's just how we roll, But Khan, you got a king.
Khan, hey, that's right, man. That's right. And beautiful points, precepts from the brothers. That's exactly what camp is, man. And we see here all throughout the Bible. Let's just look up the word camp, right? Let's see how many times it appears in the Bible. All right. So this says occurs 136 times in 124 verses in the KJV. So 136 times, you can't say it's not in the Bible, man. All right. It's literally in the Bible. And we see that the camp was likened onto what? The congregation of Israel. It's the same thing, right? It's literally the same thing. And now it's also called a camp because as brothers brought out as well, we're the Lord's army. All right, we're the army of the Lord. The Lord, he got the army in the heavens, he got the army on earth. So who's this army on earth? All right, let's go to the book. All right, let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse number 16. All right, let's read this precept. Let's see who the Lord's army is. Brother, want to read that real quick, Baba Kishan?
God, this is Psalms 94 and 15. It says, but judgment shall return unto righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow. Who will rise up against me, the evildoers, against the evildoers, Salakia, or who stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Exactly. And these are the people that the Lord is calling, right? That's rising up against the evildoers. That's rising up against the workers of iniquity. Because we're likened in this truth as soldiers, like we was already establishing. All right, let's establish that real quick. Because first, when you go to the definition of camp, this is what it says, right? Camp, right? It says a place with temporary accommodations of huts, tents, or other structures, typically used by what? Soldiers. See that? That's the first thing. Soldiers, refugees, prisoners, or travelers. And we're essentially all these things, right? We're soldiers of Yahawashi. We're refugees of Yahawashi, right? We're prisoners of Yahawashi, travelers. because we're traveling in a land that's not ours, right? You know what I'm saying? We're in captivity right now. We're a prisoner, right? And we're also prisoners on a spiritual level as well. Like I say in the book of First Corinthians chapter 9, right? And he that is a free man, he is Christ's servant through the Spirit. So we're Christ's servant as well. And so, but that's what the definition is talking about. A um a place of temporary accommodations typically used by soldiers. And we're soldiers in this thing. All right. So let's establish that real quick. Let's go to the book of Second Timothy, like we had already pulled, or I kind of quoted, but let's just pull it. Just establish it. Let's go to the book of Second Timothy 2 and 3.
This Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 2 and verse 3. And it reads thus: Thou therefore endure hardness. It's like it. Second Timothy chapter 2 is verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI Mashiach.
Right, as a good soldier of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. So we're soldiers of YAHAWASHI, not on a carnal level, right, but on a spiritual level. That's how we're soldiers. All right. And we see here how Paul is likening us onto soldiers because that's what we are. We're fighting the spiritual battle. And what's our weapons? You know, he mentions that in the book of Ephesians chapter 6. All right. So let's go to real quick. Second Corinthians chapter 10. I just want to get these precepts real quick. All right. Second Corinthians 10. And let's go to verse 3.
Okay. This Second Corinthians chapter 10. Chapter 10, verse 3. It reads, For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahweh to pull down of strongholds.
Right. So that's what we're doing out there. All right. When we pull up, you know what I'm saying, any video of us, camps, whatever, congregations, what we're doing out there is this exact thing. Right. Even though we're walking in the flesh, we're not warring after the flesh. We're not taking up guns, trying to shoot Esau, trying to take this kingdom by force, man. That's not what we're doing. John 18, verse 36 says, look, if my kingdom were of this world, then will my servants fight, that I should not be delivered unto the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence, meaning that my kingdom is not of this world, man. That's what Yahawashi said, right? We're warring after spiritual things, right? And it says what? The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. What's your weapon? It's this Bible, man. This sword. You know what I'm saying? That's our weapon. The knowledge of wisdom that the Lord gave us, that's our weapons, right? That's our spiritual grenades, rocket launchers, AK-47s, man. You know, those are our spiritual swords and our helmet, right? All that in our army, in our armor, you know, our faith, praying to the Lord. These are our weapons. That's how we're in a spiritual battle. So, of course, you got to have soldiers. And what are the soldiers going to do? They're going to gather together. Not going to just be one man over here, another man over here, another man over here. Like how the brother Poole, we're gathering ourselves together, right? And that's what soldiers do. They say, what? Strengthen numbers. They're going to gather together. When you have an army, it's not just one man, right? One man, he's just doing his own thing. The other man's just doing his own, right? Hey, Slay, you said what?
I said, brothers is not Rambo.
Yeah, brothers is not Rambo. All right. And Rambo, that's not even real. You know what I'm saying? Brothers talking about, yeah, I'm Rambo, right? Kind of got the bullets on his chest, and he ain't got the shirt on. He just shooting everybody. Come on, brother, you're not Rambo, man. All right. Hey, we're all soldiers in this thing. Guess what? One soldier, you fall down. Guess what? That's what they teach you in the Army, Navy, and Marines and stuff like that. You guys all are one unit. It's no man left behind. You know what I'm saying? If one man fail, everybody fail. Right? That's how they teach it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are working together. So that's the same thing as it can. Right? It's the same thing. And let's just read to verse 5 through the Spirit. Come.
It says, continue on 2 Corinthians 10 and 5. Cast it down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahweh, and bring it into captivity, every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach.
Yeah,
Con,
you got it.
And having in readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're trying to do out there. All right. We're trying to bring our people out of Christianity. And that's like besieging a tower. That's like besieging a wall, kind of breaking that wall down. All right. Trying to destroy that damn doctrine, man. Brother come up, he's saying God loves everybody. Well, hold on, brother. Right? Hey, what about this precept? You know what I'm saying? We're going to try to break that damn stronghold down that's on our people. You know, brother come up, Islam with Muhammad, right? Surah, right? Al-Bukhari. And then we want to go into the Quran and cut you up too, man. Right? And then kind of bring you to the Bible. You understand? So that's how we're going to do it, man. We're going to break down these strongholds. That's literally what the Lord commanded or the men to do. So, but come, brothers got it.
Brothers got preset.
Con. All right, like the brothers is saying, you know, the Lord is a man of war. You know, in war they got camps. You know, the Lord deals with camps. Let me get this quick precept because a lot of people don't realize that it was a lot going on coming out of Egypt. You know, the Lord was setting, setting them up. He was setting Israel up, as a captain sets up his army. You know, you got captains over 50, captains over hundreds, captains over thousands. You know, and everything is done decently in order, and you kind of get in this thing, right? It's the book of Numbers, chapter 32 and verse 6. And Moses said unto the children of Gad and to the children of Reuben, shall your brethren go to war, and shall ye sit here? So the Lord is talking about going to war. Now, you don't go to war by just sitting in your house. You sitting in your house and you talking about you a soldier of the Lord, or you gonna fight for the Lord, but you sitting in the house. You know, you sitting in the house, you letting Israel do what they want, you letting the nation do what they want to our people. You talking about you fighting for the Lord. Hey, brothers pulling Sirach talking about they striving for the truth until death, but they sitting in the house, right? And like Moses said, shall your brethren go to war and shall you sit here? Shall your brothers go to camp? You know, laying down their lives for you, but you're in the house with the Twitter fingers bashing them, but they are laying down their life for the nation, and you're sitting here bashing them. They're going to war for Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, and you say they're going off. You say they're going off. You say, yeah, that's why I don't do camps, you know, because we getting on our people. You know, this is not the Christian church, right? Then the Lord just say in the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22 and verse 14 that I just pulled, that whatever Yahweh says, that's what we're gonna say. The Lord said, go out there and prophesy to the people. What did the Lord say? You know, just sit in the house. Sit in the house with your families, and I will come and deliver you. And you got to put in work to be delivered, right? Putting on fringes and not eating pork, that's not it, you know. But brothers got it.
Yeah, a few precepts. Leaning back on brother Yashala was going into as Israel being soldiers, like the brother was going, hey, brothers has got to be out there in the trenches, and you can't be in the trenches having a sword hanging up in the vault. Like, what is the use of a sword if you ain't using it? You know, this is I'm gonna go Hebrews chapter 4 and verse 12, and we know our sword, like the brother was saying, our sword is this word, right? It says, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints of marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So, hey, that's what our sword is. Our weapon is the sword of the word, because we know what the power of the word will do. It's gonna cut asunder. It's gonna, and like the brother, we're gonna cut up the Ethiopian doctrine, talking about she had a baby with King Solomon. We're gonna cut that up. We're gonna go through the scriptures and cut that up. HALALYAM, we're gonna cut all that up. You know, that's what we're gonna do. No, that's not the truth. Let's go to this verse. Hey, we're gonna pick our It's just our perfect weapon. Like a golfer you ain't gonna hit the putt with the 9-iron or how the driver. You're gonna hit it's different weapons we're gonna use. It's different tactics we gonna use. And when we're using the scriptures, we gonna go, hey, let's hit them with Psalms, or let's hit them with First Kings, Second Kings. Oh, he's a New Testament lover. He a Paulite, and so let's use nothing but Paul letters to cut him up. Right? And going and like the brother was saying, we gonna put in the whole armor of the Most High too. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 11. You can't be an army. You can't be in the military and have no armor on. Why the Most High said put on the armor? If you're not soldiers in this thing, right? This is Ephesians 6 and 11. It says, "Put on the whole armor of Yahawah, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." So we got to put on the armor. Put on that armor, right? So we could withstand anything what's going to happen. And what is that? The scriptures again. And it's going to all the bases of the thing. It's all spiritual. It's literally a physical camp, as we could go into all the precepts we could go to. We could be here all day, like the brother pulled up in the blue letter. Camp comes in so many times. It's a spiritual camp, and it's a literal camp, because we know the law is spiritual and literal as well. So let me keep reading. It says, "But that which bear thorns," and that's it. For the spirit. I had another precept. I select it. This is verse 12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Verse 13, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahawah, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand." And that's what we got to do. We got to make sure we have that armor on all day, every day. You got to take a shot with that armor on, and have your sword on the nightstand right there. You know how a brother's got a weapon underneath the couch, on top of the refrigerator, underneath the bed, the pillow. And brothers gotta be like that to the spirit. Hey, I got my weapon. I got my dagger through the spirit. You got the little dagger. Got your long your long one. And that's how you got to move in the spirit. Let me get this other precept in Psalms real quick. One last precept of the spirit. Going into army in this thing. He not the Most High don't reference all these army tactics, sayings, and we not army. We not an army in this thing, right? This is Psalms 149 and verse 6. It says, "Let the high praises of Yahawah be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people." Right? So that's what we're gonna do. Take vengeance and destroy the heathen. With what? A literal sword and a figurative, a figurative, literal sword in this thing. So that's how the Most High deals with camps in this thing, or soldiers. You can't have a camp without soldiers to this thing. But you got a king.
Yeah, kind of like a good point. The brother made a point. He brought the precept, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High." And when you look at it, a lot of camp bashers, they don't want to put on that whole armor, and that's why they don't go out there. They might be secretly dealing with weed. They might be in this thing for 4 years, and they've been slothful their whole 4 years. They don't want to put that armor on. They're like, "No, I'm not ready to put that armor on. I'm not ready to go out there, or it's not my season." You've been in this thing for 8 years talking about it's not my season. And you talking bad about camps, talking about it's not your season to go out there. They don't want to put on that whole armor. They might be working on the Sabbath, so they're not even able to go to camp, right? They waking up early in the morning, going to work on the Sabbath, or like I said, it might be secretly dealing with some type of secret sin, to where they don't want to go out there. They don't want to put that whole armor on. But yeah, brothers got it. I just had that quick point.
Con, I got two precepts through the spirit. And that's mighty precepts, man. Mighty precepts the brothers bringing out, man. Brothers on fire. All praise to the Most High. So like the brother was saying, I mean, it's hella precepts on camps, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we need to understand that the Most High set up camps for a reason. And this is a book, Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 15. It says that which had been is now. So whatever was in the past is right now. Israel was always dealing with the same thing. It says, and that which is to be hath already been. So the camps, you got WFI, you got Sakara, you got IOIC, etc. All of these different camps. All of these different camps are back in the ancient world too. I mean, maybe they weren't called, WFI, IOIC, but it was different names for these different camps at the end of the day. Because that's what the Most High was doing. It says, and the Most High requireth that which is past. Right? So at the end of the day, these things had already happened, before we even try to come into camp or started looking at these different camps. But I mean, it's already been here. And like the brothers going into, the Most High is always referencing us to you know, what's the word? Just army tools, right? Army weapons, right? We have to be ready for this spiritual warfare. So I got this precept in the book of Proverbs, chapter 27 and verse 17. It says, "Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend." Like the brother Sirach was saying, you don't want to have your sword, in the sheath. You want to have it out. You want to have it ready in case you battling these demons. You cutting off the head off of these demons. You got to be ready. Keep it next to you in your bed. Keep it on the countertop when you in the shower. Through the spirit. But these are these things that we got to be prepared for. And when we go out to preach on the highways and byways, we going out because like the brother guy was saying, hey man, we need to go out and teach. The Lord is going to come back and give us to what we did. That's what the Lord is going to reward us with. So if we're calling out as many people as we can, hey, the Lord said, bid as many as ye shall find, bid to the wedding, paraphrasing, right? So we're doing everything we can, man, to kind of go out there, and wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, and unity in the camp, how they were doing back then. But kind of brothers got it though.
Hey, that's exactly right, man. Can a brother get Ezra chapter 5 verse 1? Right? Can one brother get Ezra 5 and 1 through the spirit? Because what people's gonna say, right? Right. What people is gonna say is, and Khan, shalom, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom,
Shabbat shalom.
Khan, Shabbat shalom, King Khan, all praise, all
Shabbat
praise.
shalom, Israel.
Hey, Dixon on this thing too, man. Khan, all praise,
Hey,
all praise.
brother Dixon.
And Khan, that's a hey, we can pull that precept as well. That's a good precept, Khan. So yeah, all praises, and everybody else that's tuning in as well. So this is what they're gonna say, right? Because they're gonna say, some people's gonna say, so what do this camp bashers say, man? What do they say? What's the whole big deal, man? All right, so first of all, let's just lay it out. All right, let's just lay it out on the table. Because we bring out the goods about camps, but we're gonna bring out what they're gonna say against us, right? Now, are camps 100%? Are they just 100% holy? Everybody just holy. Everybody just 100%, on the dime. They just Yahawah. Right? Are we saying that we're Yahawah? No, we're not saying we're perfect. Yeah, none of us is perfect, man. All right, everybody, they're gonna fall just like how you fall. If you a camp basher, you fall too, man. All right, don't get it twisted, man. But like as the precepts say, two is better than one, right? Why? Because they have a good reward for their what? For their labor. That's what brothers is doing. We're laboring together, right? Did not Paul say he wrote to his fellow what laborers? Hey, guess what? Epaphroditus, Philippians 2 and verse 25 on that. He said fellow soldier, right? He called him a fellow soldier. And what? There was an out damn sword fighting and stuff, right? Klein was sword fighting and stuff. No, there was laboring, all right, teaching the word. You know what I'm saying? Hey, a prophet died is going through. He was sick, yet he still gave unto Dave, Slaki Paul what he needed, right?
That's
What
right.
was required of him. So that's how he's supposed, all right. And so again, if you don't necessarily, are we saying that you have to be part of a camp to be saved? No, I'm not saying that. If you don't want to be part of the camp, you don't have to be. But we saying to you that guess what? It's better to be part of camp, and it's all the Lord literally says that you have to gather together. So whether you're part of a camp or not, I mean, you have to congregate. You can't just say I don't want to, because then you'll be going off. So if you don't want to be a part of a congregation or a camp, you don't necessarily. But how else are you going to congregate? Everybody else in the camp. You can't just come around and to the feast days we don't really know you, and so we gotta prove you. You know what I'm saying? That you can come with us, but we gotta prove you first. So what we're saying is, I just want to lay that out. And so what the camp bashers would say is that what? Oh man, guess what? Ezekiel, he was no part of no camp. Jeremiah, he wasn't part of no camp, right? That's what they'll say. Show me the Lord Yahweh in the camp. And a lot of times they don't use the word Yahweh either. They don't use the name Yahweh. They will use some other name, right? And what that name is, it's up to them. Brothers kind of lean on to the whatever they their own understand. All right. Some brothers might say your booty, all right, Yehudi. Some brothers may say that. All right. Okay, so it's just up to them. All right, it's up to them what they want to call upon. But again, so that's what they're going to say. So let's first show, brother, got that precept in Ezra.
Okay.
All right, Con, let's bring that out real quick, man. Ezra 5:1, Con.
This is Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. It says, Then the prophets, Haggai and the prophet, and Zechariah, the son of Idol, prophesied.
Wait. Okay, so Salakia. So it says, then the prophets. So hold on. So you have multiple prophets in one place. Is that not what a camp is? Right? That's exactly what a camp is. You have prophets in one place together prophesying. It says what? Haggai the prophet, and he has his own book, right? Haggai, and what? Zechariah the son of Idol. It's the same Zechariah you have in the scriptures, right? It's the same one. It says what? They prophesied. Go ahead, King. Select.
And Zechariah, the son of Idol, prophesied unto the Jews that were in Judea and Jerusalem in the name of Yahawah of Israel, even unto them.
Mm-hmm.
Then rose up Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, and began to build the house of Yahweh, which is at Jerusalem, and with them were the prophets of Yahweh helping them.
Wait, no. It was no camp back then.
The prophets of Yahweh helping them.
You see that? So you had these brothers, Zerubbabel, the son of Shealtiel, Jeshua, the son of Jozadak, right? Building the house of the Most High. You also had what with them? Nehemiah came a little after. And so you have all these mighty men coming together doing the same work, man. And you had also what? The prophets of God helping them. So you had the prophets of the Most High helping them too, building this temple. And we know that when you study Ezra and Nehemiah, when they're building this temple, and really Nehemiah really focuses on the wall. But I mean, all of this stuff is necessary. And we understand that this temple that they're building in the city is really symbolic of what? Us, right? Building each other up. That's what that's going into. And so the Lord said, look, in Luke 17:20, he said the kingdom is within you. So that's what we were doing out there on the highways and byways, even on the videos and stuff like that. When we congregating together, we're building each other up. We're building each other up, and we're also helping build, Israel up that necessarily don't necessarily know their nationality, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we see here, you can't say there's no camps. You're not going to see, oh yeah, the camp of Ezekiel, the camp of Jeremiah, right? But these brothers weren't just alone, just by themselves, just on some island, some damn where. Before John was deported to an island or banished to an island, he was with what? The disciples. Hey, guess what? Was Yahawashi just by himself? Right? Was Yahawashi just by himself, just doing the work? Nah, he was with his disciples. And at one point in time, he even had 70 to 72. right? That he sent out. You understand? And what he actually, let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Luke. Right. What was that? Luke 10.
I got a
Right.
point.
Let's go to Luke chapter 10 and verse 1. Oh, okay, Khan, bring out your point. You got it.
No, it's like I was gonna say that's what they'll say too. They'll say all the camps, those are false prophets. You know, they say those are false prophets. Those are the those are scribes and Pharisees. That's what they'll say. Those are false prophets. They're the scribes and Pharisees. It's really too anybody that kind of goes out there and brings the word out. You know, they'll say, oh, you can't call yourself a prophet. Not that we're saying that. Like we don't walk into a room and say,
Yeah,
exactly. I'm a prophet.
Right.
You know, but these prophets are out
right.
there. You know, but they'll say, they're going off because just because they don't have the doctrine they have. They'll say like they'll say these things. They say those are the false prophets. Those are the scribes and Pharisees. You know. Yeah. I just had that quick point.
And that's a good point. It's like I just want to bring out this precept. Can somebody give me Ephesians 4:11 just to touch on that? Because that's a good point that the brother made. That a lot of them is going to be calling us false prophets. We're not, disclaimer, we're not saying that we're the prophets of old. We're not saying that, right? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to prophesy. When you're bringing up the word, going into the prophecies, guess what you're doing? You're prophesying, right? So, I mean, we're not saying that we're the prophets of the Most High. We're not saying, hey, I'm Ezekiel back on earth. I'm not saying that. But what we're saying is, like how the brother said, let's get this Ephesians 4:11.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Brother got it.
No, it's like, yeah, you got it.
Oh no, yeah, kind of like the brother's saying. Yeah, you don't have to have a big name. You know, you don't have to come through with a big garment. You know, down to the foot with the golden girdle about the past, to be a prophet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
that's right.
To read it.
That's right.
This is Ephesians 4 and verse 11. It says, and he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers.
Right, exactly. So you can't say that the prophets is not here. All right. He said he gave some apostles, some are prophets, some are evangelists, some are pastors and teachers. Even in the New Testament, man. All right, this is the New Testament. What you gonna say? No, Paul was going off. Nah, I'm saying. No, they're not gonna say that. All right. So let's go to Luke chapter 10, verse 1 real quick. And then
I got a point because like you said, they're not gonna say Paul. They're not gonna say nothing about Paul, but they run to Paul for everything. But he's a Sadducee. He a Pharisee.
Yeah.
Everything you call us, and he's that. He's a Pharisee.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you saying? You run to a Pharisee, but you're saying we Pharisees. Make that make sense. But this is Luke chapter 10, verse 1. It says, after these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and set them 2 and 2 before his face into every city and every city and place, whether he himself would come.
Khan, you see that? So he was sending them 2 by 2. Was he just sending them by himself or by themselves? No, he sent them in groups. You understand? Because he knew the power behind, like how the Lord said, where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name in Matthew chapter 18, verse 20. So where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So he understood the importance of that because we together are the church of the Most High, right? We together make up the temple. Because if you have just one part of the house, it's just one part. If you have one brick of the house, it's not enough. You know what I'm saying? You need all these bricks to make up the house, right? And so that's essentially what we're liking onto in the scriptures. And let's just read to verse 2, and then brothers got it.
Verse 2. Come on. This is St. Luke chapter 10, verse 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the labors are few. Pray ye, the labors are few.
Mm-hmm.
Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he would send forth labors into his harvest.
Yeah, exactly. And why is the Lord saying this? It's because, of course, you have a lot of camps, you know what I'm saying, that's out here. You know, you kind of see it on you. I kind of see it on YouTube. I'm like, damn, it's a new camp. I haven't even heard these brothers. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, but that's all praises. You have camps, you know, kind of Certain brothers maybe might leave that camp, kind of make their own thing. It's all the Lord, right? It's all the Lord. And so the Lord said the laborers are few though, but the harvest truly is great. You know what I'm saying? And so the Lord said we need more laborers. So if you against brothers bring out the word, you against the Most High, you against YAHWASHI. YAHWASHI said, look, you need more laborers in the harvest, man. So if you hating on your own brothers bringing out the word, if you're not applauding that, and if you're not supporting it, then what are you doing, man? Are you really in this truth, right? And for all you Christians that say we going off too, I mean, we're not even talking to you, man, for real. I mean, we're not even because we already know the Christians, and right, we're not really addressing this to the Christians, really addressing this to the Israelites that might be in the truth, you know what I'm saying, and say they kind of speaking against us. I mean, we are brothers though, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, come on, brothers got it.
Con. Going back of like the brother was saying, this is Acts chapter 1 and verse 15. It says, and in those days Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number of the names together were about 120. So there's 120 people, man. The names of 120. So if it's 120, man, that's a lot of people. So hey, you can't. Nobody's saying, hey, these 120 people are not doing the work, and these was disciples, not the ones that we know. Hey, these many other names that we probably don't even know about, right? And it's 120 of them doing the work of the Lord. However many camps we got in the truth that's pushing the word, that has a foot on the ground doing hard labor, and like the brother say, you got your mouth wide open talking mess about them. Because ultimately, like the brother said, brothers is not saying they this person or that person or this person, but ultimately we know that these men are these certain prophets that we had back in ancient days are still here, are here again, because it state that too, right? Let me get Second Esdras chapter 1 and verse 38. I'm starting at 38. It says, and now, brother, behold, what glory and see the people that coming from the east, unto whom I will give for leaders Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Hoseas, Amos, Micaias, Joel, Abadias, Jonas, Nahum, and Abekah, Zephanias, Agabus, Zechariah, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord. So all these men, they're gonna be coming back on the scene. A lot of these prophets do the sin, and people don't know who certain men are to the Most High. They don't know what spirit that brother has on you don't know what spirit that the Most High have on that brother. Like the brother Yahshua, he could be a John the Baptist, anybody. He could be anybody. Any brother could be anybody, and we don't know, and won't even other that they that person or he that person through the spirit. Because we know plainly that would be going off, right? John, I got one more precept. Leaning back with the brother said, hey, prophets always been here from the ages, from the beginning. This is 1 Samuel chapter 10 and verse, I'm gonna start at 9. It says, and it was so that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, Yahweh gave him another heart, and all those signs came to pass that day. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets. So he met with a company of prophets. And we know a company is more than one person, man. That's plain. A company has to be, if you have a company, it has to be ran by multiple people. So a company of prophets, and this is in the 1 Samuel days. So if 1 Samuel had a company of prophets, and he met, what he said, met him, a company of prophets met him, and the spirit of Yahweh came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And so he prophesied among them. And a prophets, like the brother, one thing he said, iron sharper iron this thing. And they all prophesying through the spirit. Right? Verse 11. And it came to pass when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish, is Saul also among the prophets. And so, hey, if they accompany, and we know, hey, they literally accompany the sons. They might not, like the brother, hey, they might not have a name and a banner and a emblem, a signet. They probably don't have all that, but they know they doing the work of the Most High. They prophesying to the people, right? And that's the thing. If you accompany, that means you more than one. What brothers got it?
And shame on you camp bashers, right? Shame on you camp, because a lot of you brothers, y'all woke up from the camps.
Come.
A lot of you brothers woke up from seeing the camps on YouTube, and now you kind of get in the scripts, and now you kind of turn around and you kind of slapping them in the face. Here they are putting in the work. We live in a digital age now, 2023, to where you can record now. A brother don't have to go. We be out there in Lake Marriott in Oakland. Now brothers, they don't have to go out to the Lake Marriott to actually see us. So a lot of brothers woke up from these camps, and now they have the audacity to bash these camps, right? But you can bring out your point, and I got a couple of precepts. But
yeah, what you were saying, hey, like the brother, like you were saying, they wake up to the camp, but then a lot of times it be that, hey, brothers, hey, it's keep on hunting the Bible, hey, brothers better than you, and you see that, and you don't like order. I mean, that's just plain. Brothers don't like order when Most High always set up order. That's what I always kind of stem from. It could stem from, like you're saying, hey, they see people, they see the camp on YouTube, hey, they go out and then they try to be a part of the camp, but then they be like, oh, it's too much order for me. It's hierarchy. I'm not dealing with that. That's what it really be about through the spirit, But Kanye got it.
Yeah, kind of. That's a beautiful point. That too. They don't like order. They wanna come to camp when they want to come to camp. Oh well, what? Show me where I have to come every Saturday, or show me where I have to show up at 2 p.m. to whenever, But I got this quick precept real quick. This is the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 23, right? I know brothers like going into what the brothers just brought out in Luke chapter 10, right? And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. So the Lord told us to go out to the highways and hedges. Like I said in the beginning of the video, what the Lord told us to do, that's what we're going to do. What the Lord told us to say, that's what we're going to say. Brothers not going to just hide in the house and be keyboard warriors. The Lord told us to go out to the highways and hedges. So how can you say we're going off when the Lord told us to? That's what to do. It's like the Lord telling you to offer up an offering unto him. So you getting the offering ready, and the brother tells you, oh, you going the hell off. You're not supposed to be doing that. But here the Lord told you to do it, right? Real quick, I got another precept, right? This book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, and verse 10, right? Going into Ezekiel. Now again, we're not saying that we are these people, but like the brother was saying, these men are out here. I guarantee you that because a lot of these prophets are back on the earth, wherever Ezekiel's at, he's not sitting in the house on Saturday or whatever day brothers want to say is a Sabbath. He's not sitting in the house, right? Jeremiah, he's not sitting around just reading all day. That's all he's doing is talking about. All he's doing is reading. Didn't Jeremiah say that it was a side of him? He couldn't just sit around. He had to go out there, whether he wanted to or whether he don't. Real quick, book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, and verse 10. So I prophesied as he commanded me. The Lord commanded us to prophesy. We came into this truth, right? We started finding out what's going on, right? And like we were saying, a lot of brothers woke up from camps. Now, me personally, I can't speak for every brother, but I didn't wake up from a camp, right? I didn't wake up from a camp. I had I had a brother that wasn't in a camp, kind of showed me this thing, and I came into it, right? But when we come into this thing, the Lord tells us what to do, right? He teaches you all ways, teaches you the commandments. He gives you bread, meat, milk, bread, meat. He shows you things. He shows you visions that people had, dark sayings, similitudes, parables, right? right? Real quick, let me get this quick precept, right? Because and it's the reason that brothers aren't going out there, right? It's the reason brothers aren't going out there. Real quick, this is the book of Matthew. And you got to check your spirit if you bashing camps, right? And again, we're not saying, yeah, if you're not in a camp, you're not gonna make it. We're not saying that, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, in verse 9. It reads, "Who have ears to hear, let him hear." Right? So those that have ears to hear, let them hear. Right? So the Lord told men that's out there, the Lord told them to go out there. Right? The Lord told them to go out there. Right now, if you're going out there, saying all nations can be saved, or you going out there saying that Babylon is not going to be destroyed, or if you're saying that Esau is an Arab, maybe the Lord didn't tell you to go out there, right? But if you're going out there speaking, thus said the Lord told you to go out there, right? Reading on Ezekiel 37:10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, because our people are dead out there, right? And they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. And if you was to put all these camps together, right? IUIC, WFI, Sakari, Believers of the Way, HOI. You put all these men together. You know how deep we'll be out there. You know how many of us it'll be. That's an exceeding great army, right? But if you got all the men out there, an exceeding great army, and you in the house, are you really a part of that army? You know what I'm saying? You're not gathering together. You don't talk to these brothers. Like, oh yeah, I don't talk to that brother. He's in WFI, or I don't talk to that brother. He's in this camp, or he's in that camp, right? But brothers got it.
That's right.
That's facts, man. That's facts. We I got a couple precepts I want to bring out because we gather together, like the brother said. Brother said the true saints were harassed. Hey,
Yep.
Hey, so yeah, so we gather ourselves together at the end of the day, and we gotta understand that, because hey man, that's all we got. We're not gonna turn back to our family in the world, and gather with them. I mean, we used to for these like the holidays that we used to gather with, and we used to turn up. Hey man, we used to gather with them. Now we gathering with our brethren, right? With our with the house of Israel, So I want to get this in the book of First Peter, chapter 2, in verse number 17. It says, "Honor all men, love the brotherhood." Hey, so this is a brotherhood, man. At the end of the day, when I'm linking up with my brothers, hey, I love it, man. I love to link up with my brothers. Why? Because I'm not around worldly people. I'm around like-minded brothers. So you know what? Hey, I love my brotherhood, man. I love the brothers, man. Hey, all praise to the Most High. It says, fear God, honor the king. Right? So at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood, right? The Lord told us in the book of Psalms. Let me get that real quick. Psalms 133 and verse 1. It says, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." And it's a beautiful thing, man, for us to dwell together in unity, because we brothers, And then as well, like the brother Gad was saying, hey, man, if you were out there at a point in time when you were in the truth and you were out there teaching, somebody was to come up to you and ask you, oh, what's your guys' name? You might say a name. They might look at you as the same thing. Oh, you a captain. Not even, and you might tell yourself, well, I'm not really a camp. We're just out here teaching. Hey, we could be saying the same thing. But at the end of the day, whether you call yourself a camp, whether you call yourself a congregation, whether you call yourself, gathering together, hey, that's what we got to do. Like the brother Yasharala was saying in Matthew 18 and 20, the Lord literally said, let's pull that real quick, actually, man. Let's pull that. It says Matthew 18 and 20. It says, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together." Now, notice it says 2 or 3. It didn't say 1 or 2. It said 2 or 3, right? For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. So, at the end of the day, hey man, you can call it what you want. You know, I know a lot of people. When they came into this truth, they were learning a lot from these different camps. I'm one of them. Obviously, we read, we did our study ourselves, but watching the brothers on from these different camps, hey man, it boosted my spirit up so I could go out there and teach. Not to be like them, but to see what kind of fire I could bring out myself. Hey, the fire, the fire spirit that the Lord put on us to go and do that. You know, so hey, that's just what it is, man. But brothers got it though.
Hey, so like I got two presets going on the points. But the brothers just pull out. The one thing he put out, he said, "Hey, this is Sirach 37:12." He says, "But he continued with a godly man, whom thou knowest to keep commandments of Yahweh, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt not miscarry." And so, like the brother said, hey, we're gonna be continually with godly people around us, not just a man from across the street. What wisdom can he speak to me? What wisdom I could give him wisdom all day, but it's not gonna be profitable. Being with like-minded brothers that's always abiding by the commandments is gonna help you sharpen it. And kind of got a precept of Brother Gad he was going into. Hey, that's what brothers should be about building their nation back up. Brothers are not nationalists. No, hey, brothers don't have that nationalist mind state, and we got to get back to that as taking care of our people, worrying about our people, and knowing what we need to do. Because ultimately our people is in shambles, right? And everybody should have that same mind frame, being coming back into this truth. It don't matter if you whatever, you should do the work of the Most High, because that's whatever the Most High says supersedes anybody, and that's any leader or any camp. Nobody cares about what that said. Whoever leader, no, it's all about that said Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, right? This is and building up your nation, because that's what he said do. That's plain. And this is Second Maccabees chapter 15 in verse 18. For the care that they took for their wives and their children, their brethren and kinsfolk, was in least account with them. The brothers in Second Maccabees, they had at least account of that, right? They had at least account of all everything that people put before before the Lord. They children, they family, they wives, and etc. Right? But what did he say? Was in least account with them, but the greatest and principal fear was for the holy temple. That was they was all about the holy temple, to show and to build it up, to build that thing back up. And that's what all brothers should be striving to do, is doing the work of the Lord, is building your own temple, building the temple up. Because if you're building the temple up, everything else that they said was at least account will be taken care of. Brothers gotta have a nationalist mind, instead of being an individual and want to work by yourself and not get nothing accomplished. Because no company ever be successful with just one person there. That never happens. They always want to date. People likes to delegate certain things to certain people. But Khan, you got to keep.
Yep, that's completely right, man. Completely right, and good points and precepts from the brethren, man. From the brethren. And so we see here that camps is totally beneficial to your walk in this truth, man. Look, you need the brotherhood. All right. You need the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? You need to be with certain brothers. You know what I'm saying? Sisters, come on, sisters. Right? Certain sisters say that, oh man, no man teach you, right? You need to go to the Most High. Hey, what precept is that? What precept is that, sister? Can no man teach me? Right? Hold up now. Hold up. Since when was that? Right? Since when was that? That no man can teach you any. You sound like a even a world. Right? So you can't bring that spirit in this truth. All right? In this truth, guess what? The Lord said in Hebrews 5 and what 12 that when you got to be taught again, right? Which would be the first principles of the work was of God. We all had to be taught again. What you think? You ain't got to be taught again, sister? Right? Hey, we was all taught again. You know what I'm saying? We still being taught, right? We not just the ultimate teachers up here. We're not claiming to know everything in the every single thing in this Bible, right? We still learn, right? Brothers, elders about he's still learning. He 30 years in this truth. He's still learning, right? What you think? The elders didn't have teachers. They had teachers too, man.
Man,
Right? You think Paul he didn't have a teacher? Acts chapter 22 verse 3, right? He
man,
was brought up at the feet of Gamaliel, who was a doctor in the law, right? Like I say in the book of Acts chapter 5. So Paul had a teacher, right? We know that Yahawah, what you think? He just came out the womb just knowing everything, right? Well, hey, guess what? He was increasing in knowledge and wisdom. Like I can tell you that in the book of real quick. Let's just get that real quick. Let's go to Luke chapter 2, and
two.
I think I want to start at verse. It's like you said, what?
Nah, man, with two.
Yeah, kind of Luke chapter 2. Let me see what precept I want to start at though. Yeah, let's just start at verse 46.
Con
Right.
46. This is St. Luke chapter 2 and verse 46. And Mary said, my soul doeth magnify Yahweh, and my spirit have rejoiced in Yahweh my Savior, for he have regarded the low estate of his husbandman, maiden, his handmaiden. For
So like
behold,
you at Luke 2 and 46.
God, Salaki. This is chapter 2, verse 46. It
Come.
reads this. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions.
Wait, he was what?
Hearing them and asking them questions.
Wait, so Yahweh Shai, he was asking questions. He was listening to him. All right. So before Yahweh Shai went on to his ministry, remember, he didn't even start his ministry until he was what? 30. Until he was 30 years old. So Yahweh Shai, he waited to that time. Now I know that certain gospels they record, and I know that certain passages in the not in the Quran, but in it could have been the Bukhari or the whatever they call it. They kind of document some of Yahweh Shah's teachings or his life when he was a child, but that's something else. But we see here that anytime before he was 30 years old, we don't really see it too much. We only see it a little bit. And so we see here when he was a child that he was about this work. He was about this business, man. All right. When he was 12 years old, he was sitting in the midst of the doctors. He was hearing them, asking them questions. So he already had a good understanding, but he didn't just come out the womb just knowing every single thing. The Lord had to increase him just like anybody else. Lord had to increase him. Right. And he became mighty and mighty and mighty. All right. So even he was asking questions. He had teachers, man, right, to a certain extent. So what makes you think that you can't be taught nothing? You know what I'm saying? If Yahweh Shah could have been taught, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Yahweh Shah, he was just like you and me. So guess what? His mom and his dad had to teach him how to walk. When you kind of get your baby, and kind of get him to walk, right? You have to be taught that. Or ride a bike, you have to be taught that, right? You know what I'm saying? Certain things like that. You have to be taught certain things as a child. You know what I'm saying? How to read. Yahweh Shai, he read in the book of Luke chapter 4, it'll tell you that. He read in the book of Isaiah. Who taught him that? They just came out the womb. Yeah, he's just reading all the books. No, he was a man, fashioned as a man, like it say in the book of Hebrews chapter 2, verse 16, just like you and me. So he had to be taught that too. So what you think if Yahweh Shai could have been taught, that means all of us could have been taught, can be taught as well. So don't listen to anybody saying that no man teach you nothing. The Lord sets up men to teach the nation. That's how he always done it. I mean, that's how he's always done it. Let's go to the book. Let's go to the beginning. Let's go to the book of second Ezra chapter 3, right? Even to Adam. So let's go to second Ezra chapter 3 and verse number 5.
This is second Ezra chapter 3 and verse 5. Brothers, hear me?
Go on.
Second Ezra chapter 3, verse 5. It says, and gave us a body unto Adam without a soul, which was the workmanship of thy hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. And thou leddest him into paradise which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forth. And unto him thou gavest the commandment to love thy way, which he transgressed, and immediately thou appointest death in him and his generations, of whom came nations, tribes, people, and kindreds out of number. Let me keep
Right.
going here.
No, Khan, you good. You good, Khan. So that was the point. It said, "Unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way." So guess what, Adam? He was keeping the law / commandments of the Most High. And one of the commandments, when you read in the book of Genesis, that he was set in the Garden of Eden to dress in it and to keep it, meaning that he had to keep rule over these nations, right? He had to teach these nations the laws and the statutes and commandments, right? And so as soon as he went off, right, everything else trickled down from there. But nevertheless, that shows you that he had some type of authority over these people, over these nations, right? We're not going to get into the all in depths of that, but just to make that point, man, even from the beginning, you had structure set up and you had men, right, set up to teach, right? Even from the beginning. So it's no different, all right? It's no different now, all right? Well, that's why you have what 12 apostles. They're all men, right? And they're teaching. That was their job to do that, all right? So yeah, Khan, all praises. And also one more precept. Let's go to Luke 9 and verse 49. Right, because some might say that, oh yeah, we're not talking to them because, what I'm saying, camps, they're wicked. Don't go to follow me, right? And I mean, that's what certain brothers do too. They want to draw disciples onto them. That's what the Lord talks about, right? You want to just draw disciples onto you. So you will say anything about us, just not to, for you just not to join us. You just create some false accusations saying that, oh, the adultery and all this other stuff. You just create all these false accusations that might be going on in the camp or something like that, just to create a bad name for us because you want to draw disciples onto you, right? Well, I mean, you would have to take that up with the Lord at the end of the day. But let's go to this precept because, like we were saying, we're not saying that you have to be part of WFI, you have to be part of Sakari, you have to be a part of IUIC or any other camp. You know what I'm saying, to be to be doing the work. You can still do the work and not essentially be part of camp. You know what I'm saying? And so, but as long as you put in this work in truth and sincerity, let's go to Luke 9 and verse 49.
This is Luke chapter 9, verse 49. It says, and John answered and said, Master, we saw one. It's like it. Yeah. And John answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and we have forbade him because he followed not with us.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahawashi said unto him, forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us.
He that is not against us is for us. So it's as long as you're not against the truth, you're for it. You know what I'm saying? As long as you not, ridiculing us and trying to slow us down, right? We're not going to try to slow you down. Go ahead, brother. If you want to, do your own thing, do it, man. The Lord said, forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us, right? So that's what even what Yahawashi said. And he wasn't even mad at the dude that was doing the work of the Lord, but he wasn't even following after Yahawashi. He was, just doing his own thing. Yahawashi said, he didn't say, oh, go destroy that man. Get on him. Rebuke him. No, Yahawashi said, forbid him not. You know what I'm saying? Let him do what he do, right? Because as long as he's not against us, guess what? I don't have to say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Khan. So I hope that makes sense as well. So brothers got it.
I got a point real quick, and I just wanted to say we gotta put this out there. In Shalom, all the brothers that are not on the highways and byways as of yet, but are working on it, getting built up in the spirit, right? Whenever we're talking to those brothers, we're talking to the brothers that have been in this thing, brothers that just hate camps, brothers that hate camps. We're not talking to the brothers that so if you're not out there on the highways and byways as of yet, don't feel bad about it. Continue getting built up in the spirit, because when you do go out there, you want to know what you're getting yourself into. What I'm saying? Because that's a heavy lot. You want to know what you're getting yourself into. And we're not saying that, because everybody out there that is in a camp, not all of them are teachers. Not every brother teaches, but it's all about, because it's not all about teaching. It's about gathering together. It's about, like the brother Jonathan said, sharpening your sword. doing the work of the Lord, holding posts, reading, gathering together, I got this quick precept. This book of Proverbs, chapter 6, in verse 16. It reads, "These 6 things doth Yahweh hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him." And I'm gonna jump down to verse 19, right? "A false witness that speaketh lies," right? This is the point. "And he that soweth discord among brethren." So by speaking on different camps, speaking on different brothers, that's sowing discord. Here brothers are, um, blood, sweat, and tears. Blood, sweat, and tears going out there on the highways and byways, because it goes down out there. Things might break out. Um, we seen brothers cry on the highways and byways. We seen sisters cry on the highways and byways. Um, it's a beautiful thing, but it does get dangerous. So we won't be sowing discord, right? Real quick. That's sowing discord. Speaking on all these camps, speaking on all these brothers. Real quick, right? This book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, and verse 21, and it reads, "But we fight for our lives and our laws," right? Because it's a fight out there. We going to war, right? Because you don't know. The Lord said there's no greater love than that a man shall lay down his life for his friend. When we go out there, we're putting our lives on the line for the nation, right? Imagine that your friend is laying his life down on you, and then you go back, you go and backbite against him. We're laying our lives down for the nation, right? We didn't have people, people say they'll do this to us, do that to us, or oh, I got this in my backpack, or whatever the case may be. But we fight for our lives and for our laws, right? Because we want to make it out of here, right? How are you not putting in the work, but you're complaining, saying, oh, we're still here? You waking up talking about we're still in Babylon the Great? That, man, I'm ready for the chariots to come. But you're not putting in the work. You're not putting your hands to the plow. You're just sitting around causing discord. Right? The brothers got it.
That's right. That's right.
You got it. You want that?
Hey, all praises. Hey, that's beautiful points, man. Beautiful points. Like the brother was saying, it is very important to be out here, on the highways and byways to go teach. And I mean, we're not saying, like the brother Yasharala was saying, we're not saying that you need to be part of a camp to be saved. That's not in the scriptures, right? You gotta, at the end of the day, you gotta keep the commandments. That's Revelation 22:14. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. Right? So by keeping the commandments, you're gonna be saved. And what is a commandment? Hey, Zephaniah 2:1, to gather ourselves together. Hey, the Lord even said to gather ourselves together in Genesis chapter 49. All right, this is let me pull that out real quick. It's the book of Genesis chapter 49, so verse number 1. All right, so right here. It says, "And Jacob called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days." So that's why we got to gather ourselves going on. It's important as well to gather ourselves together, because I know me and Gab were on the phone the other day, and the brother said, he said, I had a dream that kind of tied into another dream that another brother had, and if it wasn't brought up, that wasn't scripts. If that wasn't brought up, it could have. It's like a warning for somebody. Somebody has one part of a dream, and then there you go, have another brother got another part of the dream, and because they gathering themselves together, the conversation might get brought up. That's the spirit of the Lord, right? That's why it's very important to gather ourselves together, whether you want to call it a congregation, a camp, whatever. I don't care. Hey, as long as we gathering ourselves together in righteousness, man, keeping the commandments, we calling each other Israelites, man. We see the fringes, we see the beard, you trying to abstain from all appearance of evil. We got to let go of all of that camp bashing. You know, that's evil communication right there. You know, I know we brought it up last time. I want to get this precept in the book of First Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. So like it, chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, wherefore lay aside all malice. Hey, Baba Kishar Yashrala, can you pull up the definition of malice?
Yeah, I got you, King.
Come out the water.
Right. Let me pull this up real quick through the spirit. Right, malice. Right. So this is a definition of malice, and it reads: the intention or desire to do evil, ill will.
Hey, you see that? Ill will. Hey, man. So, you kind of, you might not be saying it out loud, but you might think it in your mind, right, in your heart. Like, man, in these camps, man, they don't know nothing. Hey, they in the camp, man. That's evil. Hey, that's malice right there. The Lord said, he said, wherefore laying aside all malice and all guile. Hey, pull up the definition of guile, King. Baba Gashar.
I got you. It's the definition of guile, and it reads sly or cunning intelligence.
Hey, you see that? Kind of trying to be sly, man. Trying to be sly and tell other brothers about, about certain camps, Hey, a brother might come in the truth. And there you go, telling this brother that just came in the truth, bashing on camps. What do you think is gonna have this brother do? When hey, now this brother gonna start bashing on camps. Hey, what's that called? The damn domino effect, right?
Yeah.
Now, hey man, hey, you leading sheep astray, man. That's off, right? That's hella off. And then it says in hypocrisies, right? So now you saying you don't like camps, but yet you secretly watching camps on the low. You on YouTube typing in camps. Hey, that's off, man. Hey, that's hypocrisy. Hey, what the Lord say? Hey, man, hey, woe to the to the hypocrites, man. Paraphrasing. So, hey, man, right? And then I'm gonna keep reading. It says, in envies, right? So I don't know. Maybe some people just might have envy. There's certain people that have envy for a reason, and there's people that have envy for no reason, just because they got that evil spirit to have envy. If you don't have a perfectly good reason that he be hating on the camp, hey, maybe they say something about, maybe something that you did. Hey, that's just correction at the end of the day. You gotta just let that go at the end of the day. But we can't be having envy. And then it says, in all evil speakings. So we gotta let go of all of these evil speakings, man, towards your brothers, because at the end of the day, it's your brothers, man. When elders of Bach, and all of these Bishop Nathaniel from IUIC, when it was out there in New York, hey, a lot of these people, man, they were in the camp. Well, hey, Yasharala, were they calling themselves camps back then?
You said back when Elder Bishop Nathaniel was just starting off.
Yeah,
I think so. They was forming camps because he was from One West, but he had broken off from it. So I think maybe.
Okay, and then they started going off from just different congregations, right?
Yeah, yep.
So that's just what it is, man. From these different, you had one particular one or maybe many. Then it started. Hey, now with 2023, right? Hey, it's hella camps everywhere, bringing out the words of the Lord in sincerity and in truth, trying everything we can to wake up the hopeful elect, so we can get up out of here, man.
Yeah.
So, hey, all praises to the Most High, man, that He set up these different camps, right? That we can submit ourselves to every ordinance by different men. Hey, that's where humility comes in, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead, King.
Slacky, I just had a quick point on that. I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and I was saying how that the Most High, the reason why there's so many camps, because people can get confused. They can come to the truth. They're like, man, there's so many camps. You know what I'm saying? And But you know, and certain people in the camp bashers, they might say, well, y'all saying different things. This brother saying this thing, this camp saying that thing. Look, the thing is, the reason why the Most High got it like that is because certain camps attract different people. It attract different sheep. Not all sheep is the same sheep. All right. When you look at W5 is mostly, when you look at the demographics, is mostly younger men. You know what I'm saying? In W5. You know what I'm saying? I would say 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's the average rate age range. You know, it's like the 20s, right? And even younger than that sometimes. And so W5 has a lot of young men. Even elder Zabak even told us that too. He says a lot of young men in W5. And he said he even kind of was praising, well, not praising, but you know, he was congratulating Naquam and Amos and stuff like that because they was able to get a lot of young men into the camp, right? Now, you know, when you look at HY, for example, a lot of them's elders. You know what I'm saying? They like 30s, 40s, you know what I'm saying, even 50s. You know what I'm saying? So you have certain camps that you attract different sheep. Not all sheep is going to be the same. So that's the Most High being a mastermind. He has all these different camps. So you have that wide range of, you know what I'm saying, being able to be like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I'm not really feeling how they moving. Let me see what they got going on over here. All right. It's not always, don't you be focusing on, oh, this brother believe in the full moon as the new moon. This brother believe in the dark moon as a new moon. Hey, look, hey, if you keep in the new moon and you teaching Israel to keep that, you teaching the so-called Black Hispanics, Native Americans to repent, keep the commandments, and believe in the Most High and His Son. Guess what? I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I don't got no hatred against you, brother. You know what I'm saying? We may not be saying the same thing. That's why we got, you know, different congregation. But at the end of the day, you're still our brothers. So yeah, come on, brothers got it.
Yeah, and you know, the way I see, as long as we're not out here throwing up gang signs and not a brother kind of going like this and throwing the F, man, what you know,
W5.
the WFI with the hands, hey, that's off, man. You know, so at the end of the day, man, we just trying to preach. We just want to teach in sincerity, you know, and just wake up the hopeful elect, man. You know, but brothers got it though.
I got a point in what y'all was saying. I'm gonna bring my precepts up. Even if I'm not mistaken, even in the scriptures, I believe it's in Acts, they was talking about different people was teaching different things, but they were always teaching the truth. I want to say it was in Acts, but I'm not too sure. But it was the same thing in the ancient world. It was going through the same thing. But I believe it's in Acts, but I'm not too sure though. But going back to what you got a point.
Oh yeah, you got it, King.
How you bring your point out, King?
Oh no, I think it was in maybe Acts 15 and 14, 14 and 15, I believe. Because you had other men like, you know, teaching things that, you know, was like wasn't contrary, but you know,
Yeah, kind of. I'm not too sure though. I remember reading it, but I remember they was kind of they was talking about how they was teaching different things in a sense, but they was all teaching about the Most High. I mean, well, YAHAWASHI, you know, kind of, and that's the same thing that you know that the brother was saying today. It doesn't matter what signet you under, as long as you're teaching the basis of keeping the law, statutes, commandments, you know. But going back to what brother Yashai was saying about learning from men. That's how we always been taught. We always been taught by learning from men, even from the time of Adam all the way to Noah. They learned from men. Before we had the law was given to Moses. We was literally had oral tradition in the sense. Because how did Noah know about clean animals and clean and unclean animals? You know, he only would know that if his forefathers passed that on to him. So we was always been taught by men in a sense, but men of of renown and of the Holy Spirit. But it's Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. It says, I have also spoken by the prophets. So the Most High, he speaks by the prophets, man. He's not gonna come down on this throne with his I don't know how he probably massive and crush earth, man. Now there's no more earth. Just because people want him to come down and speak to them directly and say, don't listen to no man. He can't teach you nothing. But the Most High said, I have also spoken by the prophets. That's who he speak by. He speak by the prophets. He always done that. Let me get this real quick in Luke.
I got a point after you, King.
This is Luke chapter 1, and let me get it real quick. This is Luke chapter 1, verse 70. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which he had been since the word begun. And so he always done this. He always was speaking by the prophets. He never did nothing different. He was speaking by the prophets since from the beginning. And who are we to change these things that the Most High been doing? We are nobody. He speak by these men. So people got to get out of that out of your feelings and want to be taught by somebody. And you got to be taught by somebody. Somebody's better than you. Hey, Paul, he like the brother he brought. Hey, Paul had a teacher. Yahawashi had a teacher. Yahawashi was a prophet. So now we're gonna say, hey, we ain't listen to Yahawashi because he a prophet now. Come on, that'd be madness. And we know that. You know, we all know Yahawashi was a prophet as well. So, hey, and I'm gonna prove it. This is St. Matthew chapter 21, verse 11. It says, and the multitude said, this is Yahawashi, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee. Hey, so you're gonna be taught by men. We got to get over that fact of a man is teaching us, man, I'm not putting no man above us. But let me get this other precept, King, and you got it. Because let me get this real quick. In Sirach, why does it say this in Sirach? Since you don't have nobody is supposed to be over you, right? This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse 27. It says, make not thyself an underling to a foolish man. And underling, that means you're basically a protege or a subordinate in a sense, somebody that you're being taught from. They said, it says what? Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man. So the Most High put these things in a play to show you, hey, don't go under a foolish man. You won't be an underling to a foolish man. Make yourself be an underling to a wise man. You know. But I'm gonna finish the precept out. It says, make not thyself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. So you gotta understand what the Most High is getting to. So you can't say that you can't be taught by men. Men is gonna be able to teach you. And women, you gotta get over it. The Most High already says, woman suffer not a woman to teach. Or when you go to the pecking order of the order, it's go, the Most High Yahawah, Yahawashi our Lord, men, women, right? So it's plain. The man is going to show you how to go, to show you how to move, and then of course you got the elder woman that's going to show you how to move too. So now you ain't listen to the elder woman because she over you. No, stop being stop being that woman. I'm gonna just say that. But kind got it.
Yeah, kind of King. Beautiful point. Beautiful scriptures, and like you were saying, a lot of brothers, that's the thing, they don't like order. Going back to that, they I'll only report to Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi, as if they think there's somebody, like the Lord is gonna get off his throne and come talk to you, like the Most High is gonna get up and say, hey, I gotta go talk to this brother. I gotta tell him that, like he's just gonna get up and come tell you something. Like he gonna come knock at your door. Now you getting up and you opening the door. You like, oh, you want to come in? And you want some coffee? Like you somebody. And he's like I'm not listening. And he tells the men, like brothers like us. He's like, I'm not listening to you. I'm saying he's like, who are you? You're just a man. I'm saying you just man. I'm not listening to you.
It's like it.
Yeah, you got your point. And I got a precept after you.
This is not Bruce Almighty, man. This is not Jim Carrey and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is not coming down to talk to you in your face, man. This is not Bruce Almighty. People gotta get out of that Bruce Almighty spirit, man. They actually have to Jake as Yahawashi. Yahweh in this thing, and then talking to Bruce, what's his name? Jim Carrey, like he's somebody. Yeah, the Most High God is coming down to talk to an Edom like Jim Carrey. Madness, man. Brothers gotta
Right.
get out of that Bruce Almighty spirit, man. And that the Bruce Evans spirit, where that one? The Evan
Right.
Almighty. Like, brothers, get out of it, man.
Right. Yeah, what's that supposed to be? Part 2?
Right, yeah, part
Part
two,
2.
kind of.
Yeah, you know, that's madness, right? Like he's coming down, he's gonna give you counsel. Hey, this is how the Lord's gonna speak to you. He's gonna speak to you by the scriptures and by the man, right? This is how the Most High is gonna speak to you, right? You can't just sit around waiting for something to happen, right? Real quick, right? This is a book of going into you know, what happened in the past, what's happening now. You know, looking at these different prophets, right? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, and verse 7. And it reads, remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations, right? You got to consider the years of many generations. Consider the years of, you know, Jeremiah when Jeremiah was here with the other prophets, right? When Jeremiah was here with Baruch, what was they doing, right? Consider the years of Ezekiel. Consider the years of Daniel. Consider the years of Yahawashi and the apostles, right? Ask thy father, and he will show thee, right? So of course, you know, ask the Most High, right? Ask, you know, ask the Most High, ask your father, right? And he will show thee. Thy elders, right? Brothers that's been in this thing, brothers, you know, brothers that's been in this thing for decades and decades, brothers that's been in this thing for years, right? And they will, Slakia, ask thy father, and he will show thee thy elders, and they will tell thee. Right, so hey, the father gonna tell certain brothers things to tell other brothers to tell other brothers, you know, and we got to keep this thing rolling, you know. I mean, how long would it take us to get out of here if brothers are not going out there doing the work, you know? You know, and a lot of brothers that don't, a lot of brothers like camps, like at bash camps, those are the same ones where they might have a Bible, they might have a couple of pairs of fringes, but on a day to day, you know, on a day to day, they're around worldly people, right? They're doing God knows what on a Friday night, right? They, you know, oh, they go to camp on a Saturday. Yeah, I don't want to be a part of that camp because on Saturdays, I like to do this, or they just want to make up some type of doctrine that doesn't fit the scripts. Oh, I thought the Sabbath was on Sunday because you know Sundays when everybody goes to church. You know, this is and that because they want to go out and freak off on a Saturday, right? They don't want to go preach the words of the Lord. But brothers got it.
I got another precept, another point. Brothers want Yahawashi or Yahawah they want Yahawah to come down there and speak to him. But what happened when in Exodus when he came down here and speak to everybody? They were scared, afraid. They didn't want to deal with the Most High. So like, we got to get out of that spirit that we could deal with the Most High, right? And this is Exodus chapter 20, and same as like the brother says, the former things is the same things from now. So if Yahawashi come down and Yahweh come down on his throne, so like it's going to happen the same thing, same way, same thing, right? This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse. I'm gonna get to the point. It says, verse 18. It says, and all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. Hey, they didn't want to deal with it, man. They stood, they ran. After this man did everything from all the plagues, through the power of the Most High, parting the Red Sea, was following them, getting man, everything that he did for them, and they still scared, right? And they said, verse 19, and they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear, but let not Yahweh speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for Yahweh is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Yahweh was. And that's plain. And then what happened? The Most High was dealing with Moses. And Moses had to relay the message. Because people think, contrary people think, they say, oh, the 10 commandments. Why did he stop at 10? Because y'all we was scared. They didn't want. They were like, I'm not dealing with this, man. Hey, Moses, you go up there and you talk to God and come back to us and tell us what he said. And that's via Moses. That's still via Moses. So you got to deal with men giving you the words of the Most High. You know, what kind of guy you got? Yahawah.
Come. Yeah, hey, brothers bringing out good points, man. Really good points through the spirit. And as you see, man, as the brothers is bringing out, what we're saying is in the Bible. All right, you just can't get around it. All right, you can't get around it through the spirit, man. And also let's go real quick. I want to get um 1 Corinthians 1 and verse 10 real quick, and I also wanted to go to Sirach as well. But let's go to 1 Corinthians 1 and 10.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 10. It reads thus: Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, that we all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
Right, exactly. How can you do this if you just hating on your own brothers and sisters, man, that want to be part of the camp or congregation, you know? And like we were saying, it's not directed to brothers that want to be part of it, right? Or that is just neutral about it. You don't, what I'm saying, you rock with us, but you just want to stay to yourself, I guess. It's not, what I'm saying, like we say, you can't go into the Bible and just say that you're gonna be destroyed if you're not part of a camp congregation. But what I'm saying, it's directed to the brothers that, really hate on us and that, what I'm saying, have that envy towards us, whatever type of spirit that they might have against us, man. The Lord said that you want to be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment. All right. Let's go to the book of Ephesians. All right, let's go to Ephesians chapter I believe I'm on 4 and 15. Let me see if I'm on 15. Yeah, Ephesians 4 and 15.
This is Ephesians chapter 4.
14.
This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14. It reads thus: that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleep of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie to wait to deceive. But
so I just want to touch on that real quick. The Lord said you don't want to be like a child. In 1 Corinthians 14 verse 20, it says that in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. All right, so you don't want to be children in understanding, because if you're a child in understanding, you're going to be tossed to and fro, right? And so that's what's going to happen to you. If you are just doing your own thing, you're going to be tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine. You're not going to have a solid doctrine. All right. And so when you're going with the camps, you know what I'm saying, you're learning from them, you know what I'm saying, you may want to join one. You want to have that solid foundation. You understand that that's where we get a lot of our breakdowns from. A lot of our teachings and exhortation is from camps. Let's not get it twisted, man. If you are against camps, then I mean, who are you going to watch? Who are you going to get videos from? Who are you going to get breakdowns from? Now, a brother could say, I just get it from the Lord, brother. I just get it from the Lord. Well, okay, well, if you kind of open in the Bible and you're saying, hold up, the Lord, I think he's telling me, well, if you go to the book of Revelation 13 and 1, what it, man, and the 7 heads is really talking about the 7 tribes, right? Hey, and then, brother, you kind of just going all toss to and fro. Then you kind of get in this book, right? You kind of read the Bible like, damn, kind of tired of this. Kind of get the book of Enoch, try to read the book of Jasher and the book of Jubilees, kind of mix that in with the Quran. Because, brother, you're not getting corrected by nobody, man. You just by yourself, right? You just by yourself, and there's no one really there to check you on anything. You know what I'm saying? Because we also here in the camp to check one another, brother. I'm saying the same one thing is like, brother, are you sure about that? You know what I'm saying? Or in Revelation 3 and 20, it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Right? If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him, what's up with him, and he with me. So yeah, that you can be directly taught by Yahawashi. Don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean that you can't be taught by men either. And so, that's why when we're being fed by Yahawashi and certain things, and we see certain things in the Bible, we kind of present it to the body, kind of say, hey, King, what you think about this? I think the Lord kind of revealed this to me. And you call a brother up, you might call a brother or two up about it. And you're like, and a brother might say, Khan, I can see that too, King. Khan, hey, that's mighty. You know what I'm saying? All crazy. Or it could be the other way around. Kind of calling up this brother. Yeah, so I was reading the other day, and I was reading Revelation. I don't know. I was reading Revelation, and I think Muhammad is in Revelation, huh? Because when you read the man that came in the clouds of heaven, right? Well, because Muhammad, when you go to this surah, right, brother, come on now. It's talking about Yahweh. It's not talking about Muhammad, all right? So, but if you just by yourself, you're gonna think this is Muhammad, and so you're gonna be tossed to and fro everyone in doctrine, right? You might be listening to this brother, and, what I'm saying, you might be listening to whoever, and so that's why you also want to be part of this body, and so like King, let's read until verse 16.
It's Ephesians chapter 4, verse 16. It reads thus: from
Well, so like let's read verse 15 and 16.
Okay, this is Ephesians 4 and 15. It says, "But speaking the truth in love, make grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Mashiach, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every plant, making increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love."
God, that's right. So the head is Hamashiach. Don't think that you're following men by being in the camp. Now, I mean, certain camps are different, you know what I'm saying? But I can surely guarantee you that majority of camps is not following men. We're following Yahweh Shah. That's our head, right? And so when it says in verse 16, it says, "From whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by which every joint supplieth," meaning that the body is fitly joined together. When you look at the anatomy of a person, everything, all the joints are fitly joined together. So that's how we are as a camp or a congregation. We're all together in this thing, and we all have the same head. Guess what? The head of your right arm and the head of your left leg is the same, right? They don't have two different heads. They have the same head. It's the same thing in this truth. We all have the same head, so I don't understand the division, man. Right? That you guys want to cause and saying you want to, what I'm saying, cancer, evil, and this and that. You just causing more division. That's all you're doing, right? So, come or praise. Brother's got it.
I got 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at 4, verse 4. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and 4. It says, like the brother was saying, hey, you causing more division, but we understand that, and we all speaking the same thing in the spirit, even if we have different banners. We under a different banner. It says, verse 12 and 4. It says, "Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same spirit." Hey, there's gonna be diverse. It's gonna be different gifts, but the same spirit. Yeah, one camp might be good at going into prophecy. One camp probably gonna be able to. They probably gonna be good at prophecy and the dark sayings, and another camp might be going to the Hebrew better, or etymology, history, and it's all combined into one. Everybody have different diverse gifts, different gifts. It says verse 5, "And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord." Hey, being in administrations, there's different camps, but all speaking the same thing of the Lord Yahawah YAHAWASHI, right? It says what? "And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same Yahweh which work it all in all." Hey, so you can't get around it. Yes, there's different, like the brother say, yeah, you might come in, you see all these different camps, but we all speaking the same thing. We all different, but our operations are different, but we all believe in the Most High Yahweh. You can't get around it. We all saying, "Hey, Yahweh, why Yahweh shine?" Hey, you gotta keep the laws, you gotta keep the commandments, and you gotta wear fringes, or you gotta wear zizis. You can't eat pork cashew.
Right.
You gotta believe in the whole row. You gotta believe in the whole row, not just the back row, and not just the front row. Because we got front row. front rollers, which is the Old Testament, and then you got back rows, which is just the New Testament. No, we saying keep the whole thing with the apocrypha. So like the brother said, hey, you are causing more diversity. We're not saying, hey, you got to be in this camp or this camp, but you saying, hey, F all camps and bashing on parents, and you bucking up against us when we should be saying, hey, okay, I don't go to camp, but hey, brother, we still believe in the same thing.
That's right.
You should be supporting more than you bashing.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be, but it's not. Brothers, in their feelings because, like, I think Gad was saying, hey, brothers got people who's following certain camps, like as like they in the camp and you don't have a following, or you not so called popular, and that's what it'd be about.
That's right.
Yeah, kind of, and that's that too. Those. Again, we're going into these camp bashers. A lot of I've seen camp bashers. They're in the book of Enoch. They're in the book of Jubilees.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you know right now, you're not going to be able to grab those books and go out on the highways and byways because you'll get confounded. You'll get confounded because that's not of the Lord. That's not of YAHAWASHI. But because a lot of camps don't go into the book of Jasher, the book of Enoch. Now you sow in discord. Didn't we just read in Proverbs that the Lord said that's one of the things the Lord hate is someone who divides, someone who sows discord among brethren. And when we go out there, we're not sowing discord. We've had brothers walk by from other camps. We done seen other camps out there. And we'll salute brothers. And we'll salute any brother. We'll salute any brother from any camp. It's not like because we done witnessed that too. We come across brothers that might not salute us or whatnot. But we're not going to sit here and sow discord, right? We're not sowing discord, and you're sowing discord by speaking on the man of the Lord. Let me get this precept real quick. I wanted to grab this earlier. This came back to my mind, right? Because you got to be careful because you don't know who you're talking about. You don't know who you're talking to, right? This is the book of Revelation, chapter 10, and verse 11, right? This is the Lord speaking to or the angel speaking to John, right? And it says, I'll start at verse 10. Revelation 10 and 10. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. So these prophets like brothers going to earlier, these prophets are back out here. These prophets are on the highways and byways going crazy for YAHAWASHI, shaking the hand, waking up the nation, condemning the wicked, prophesying. I had another point, but it just lost me. But yeah, that's the gist of it. The prophets was prophesying back then, so you better believe that they're prophesying these last days, right? Same spirit, same law, right? But brothers got it.
Brothers got it.
Man, I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's just it's a brotherhood. I mean, you don't want to be bashing on these camps like the brother Gad is saying, because you may not know who you speaking on. You might be and talk about David. You might be like, hey man, he in that camp, hey this and that, not even knowing that that's King David in the flesh. So it's very important to not be, hey, we in the truth, man. We used to backbite, murder back in the world. Hey, we not in the world no more. We in the truth. We gotta love everyone. Ain't that the second greatest commandment? So let's continue to do everything we got to do for the name of the Lord together, man, in unity. You know, same mind, everything. You know, that's the point I wanted to bring out. But
Con,
yeah,
con, I got, I
Cap
got,
brothers got it though.
con, I got a precept. Uh, brother just said it. I'm gonna bring it out. This is Sirach 25 and 1. It says, "In three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful before Yahweh, and men the unity of brethren." Hey, so the unity of brethren, the most I love that, man. Why you back hey, talking down on brothers, hey, making videos by one another? Hey, if you making a video about a brother, hey, you gotta check your spirit. That's man. If you picking a video about a camp, hey, you gotta check your spirit, brother. That's plain, man. And it'd be like the brother said, it'd be the camp bashers. It'd be the hey, I'm not gonna be under no man. I'm under Yahweh. Why Yahweh? Hey, Yahweh, hey, then the Most High set man up. Then, hey, isn't that a dang, that's preset went in my head and left quickly. But if you being that type of person, hey, you a wicked man in a sense, man. Also, I talked about men that don't like order, man. But he said in three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful before Yahweh and men, the union of brethren, you know, the love of neighbors, and a man and a wife that agree together. You know, so that's ultimately what it is, man. And so, hey, that's the Most High. He loved that. He loved when men, the congregation of Israel, are unified together. He loved it. Not they sowing discord. Hey, brothers could say this all they want to. Hey, when you hop on a clubhouse, man, it is all the camps are together, man. Every camp that you thinking that's against each other, they in cahoots, man. Going against all doctrines. Hey, brothers gonna talk about unity. Hey, and going about this. Hey, that's how you know that I should say different um doctrines don't really stop nothing. If you really serving the Most High, because if brothers be on Clubhouse, hey, we see it every day, man. It be brothers from HOI, SOT, WFI. It be brothers from every camp I seen, man. Sakari, man. Every camp they come together and they defend the doctrine, right? This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Be kindly affectionate to one another with brotherly love and honor prefer one another." No, so that's what we gotta be as a people, man. Having love for each other, not bashing each other, making videos for only on us. Like that's off, man. You making a video about a brother, you know, and making a video by account. Like check your spirit and see, are you really moving in the spirit of the Most High? You know, but Khan, you got it, King.
Hey, that's completely right, man. That's completely right. Brothers brought out, good points and precepts of the spirit, man. On that. And so, yeah, and that's basically, what I'm saying, what we just wanted to address. Honestly, the brothers had anything else they, kind of points that they want to bring out in terms of that. You got it.
I got one more precept real quick.
You got it.
Yeah, I feel like brothers forgot to bring this one out. This book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 13. And it reads, "Take you wise men and understanding, and know Slakia, and understanding and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you." Right? Reading on verse 14. "And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do." So it's good for us to join the camp. Everybody can't be the manager. Everybody can't be the president. Everybody can't be the, it is order in this thing, right? Reading on verse 15. "So I took the chief of your Slakia, so I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over fifties, and captains over tens, and officers among your tribes." And that's what they have in the camp. They have orders. You have what's it called? I forgot the name I'm looking for. You have vanguards, you have officers, you have soldiers, you have prospects, you know. And another thing about the armies, another word for prospects is I forgot what would they call it in the army when you first join or something. what's the word they call
it? Got cadets.
Cadets. They call it something when you first come in.
It was like recruits or something, or like rookie.
Yeah, rookie. A rookie.
Yeah, a recruit. A recruit.
Yeah, a recruit, whatever, you know. So, hey, you know, they was doing that back when we came out of Egypt, you know. They was doing that back when we came out of Egypt. These things have always been here, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that out, you know, because hey, now, hey, at that time, hey, you know, brothers talk a lot of this stuff now that you know, now that, you know, it's the New Testament, you know, but you could say those things back in the time of Deuteronomy and it'll be over for you. Come up to Moses and say, I'm not listening to you. And tell the wise man that Moses said over that I'm not listening to you. And try and go do your own thing, hey, you would have been stoned. You would have been stoned, or I mean, it was plenty of accounts of that happening of brothers being rebellious, because the brothers got that rebellious spirit. They're rebellious. They don't want to do the work. They want to read when they want to read. You know, you even have some people. They might try to go to a camp and they find out what's required of the camp, and now they leave and they start bashing the camp. Brothers don't want to do quizzes. Brothers don't want to prove themselves. You know, brothers don't want to do what's required. They kind of want to come up there, you know, thinking that they're running something. And when you find out, you know, the Lord is running the show. Now you're getting mad. You're getting mad because you found out that you wasn't running the show. You know, the brothers got it.
I got one more precept. Hey, what the brother was going to, right? Hey, this is the author Hebrews 13 and 17. It says, obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. And so the Most High, hey, they say obey the man that's over you, man. You gotta do it, man. It's simple, because ultimately, like, hey, two are better than one, and 3 is even better, and 3 is a complete number as well. You know, and keep it going, right?
That's right.
However many brothers it is that could put you and set you in order and watch over your souls, because that's what a congregation is going to do. That's what a camp is going to do, is watch over your souls, to make sure that you don't fall by the wayside. You know, but come on.
Right.
Hey, that's completely right, man. It's completely right. So at this time, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna bring out our closing precepts of the spirit, pushing on, 2 hours. So, it's all good through the spirit. And you know what I'm saying, and within certain things, we might even do a, in depth, or like not an in depth, but what I'm saying, a video on some of the topics that we kind of have briefly, brushed on in terms of order and stuff like that, to just get a little bit more in depth look. We may do that video, you know what I'm saying, in the future, if the Lord has it going to it through the spirit. Right. So, at this time, you know what I'm saying, all praise YAHAWASHI. We're gonna bring out our closing precepts through the spirit. All right. Let's got theirs first of the spirit. I'll go last.
I got 2 precepts. I'm gonna make it real quick. All right, this is book of Psalm. This is book of Psalm chapter 34 and verse 3. Right, and it reads, "Oh, magnify Yahawah with me, and let us exalt His name together." And that's what being in the camp and coming together is all about. It's not about me. It's not about the brother Yasharala. It's not about Sirach. Not about Yawanathan. It's not about it's about Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahushai. It's about waking up the nation of Israel, right? David said, "Oh, magnify Yahweh with me." So you best believe David's somewhere magnifying Yahweh with a group of men. He's not sitting alone. David is gathering together. It says, "Oh, magnify Yahweh with me, and let us exalt His name together." He didn't say, "Leave me alone and let me exalt the Most High God by myself." In a dark alley, right? In a dark alley with nobody around, just the camera on, right? real quick, I got one more precept. I'm gonna get the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 44, right? And it reads, therefore, right? But this book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 44. Therefore, be ye also ready, right? So we have to be ready. You have to do all that the Lord commanded you to do. For in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. So at a time when you think you just chilling, oh, I'll gather together next year, or I'll celebrate that feast day next year, or I'll do this later, or I'm gonna take a quick nap and finish these chapters when I wake up. Hey, at an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Right, and then you see that in the movies all the time, right? Not that we want to push towards that, but it'll be a regular day. Everybody's eating, they're going on about their day. They thinking it's just gonna be a regular Tuesday. They're gonna they're gonna do this. They're gonna get on the call with the brothers. Hey, and before you know it, all hell breaks loose before that can even happen. And you didn't know it because it came at an hour as you think not. You thought it was gonna be a regular day, and that was the day when all hell broke loose. That was your last chance to get right. So the Lord said, "Be ye also ready." You have to be ready, because at an hour as you think not, the Son of Man coming. The brothers got it.
John, you want them?
Con, I got this precept in the book of Psalms, chapter 119, in verse 63. Says, I am a companion of all them that fear thee, and of them that keep thy precepts. So, hey, we got to be companions to everyone that's keeping the Most High's law and the precepts, no matter if you're in the camp or not. Hey, I'm a companion of you, man. At the end of the day, right? And then that's the spirit we got to move in, just like the spirit that King David was moving in. That's exactly how we got to move in. With being a companion to everybody. If they're keeping the commandments and the precepts, all praise to the Most High, man. I'm your brother, or you my brother, right? And then Salaki, and then I got this other precept in the book of Luke chapter 17 and in verse number 32. It says, remember Lot's wife. Right? If you remember Lot's wife, hey, she looked back. She looked back at me. Right? So, we don't want to look back, man, into the world, into the envies, into the evil speakings. We just kind of want to look forward. And, that's that Luke 9:62. No man put in his hand to the plow and look his back is fit for the kingdom of God. So, we don't want to look back, man. Let's look forward into the love to the Most High, what He gave us, and just continue, man, to love one another, pray for one another that we may be healed through the Spirit. All right, but brothers got it though.
It's Iraq, chapter 24 and 24. It says, "Faint not to be strong in the Lord." So yeah, don't faint in the Lord, man. You're gonna go hard for the Lord. We want to make sure that you doing everything to this T. Right? It says that he may confirm you, cleave unto him. Hey, we gotta cleave unto the Most High wholeheartedly, no matter what anybody say, no matter what any doctrine is coming. Hey, if you want to join the camp, join the camp. If you don't want to join the camp, hey, you still gotta congregate, because ultimately, hey, that's a law, that's a commandment. You gotta congregate, right? You say, gather yourselves together, for the Lord Almighty is God alone, and beside Him there is no other Savior. So, hey, we gotta, don't faint with the Most High, cleave unto Him, and go hard for the Most High, and that's after you die. There's nothing else you can do through the Spirit. You got it.
Hey, mighty points and precepts made by the brothers, man. And I got this precept on that as well. It's the book of Acts, chapter 28, right? Acts chapter 28 and verse number 30, and it reads, and Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own hired house and received all that came in unto him, preaching the kingdom of the Most High and teaching those things which concern the Lord Yahawashi HaMashiach with all confidence, no man forbidding. All right. So we see here that the apostles, man, like Paul, he wasn't just by himself. He was doing the work of the Most High, man. Right. He was doing the work of the Most High. He was preaching the kingdom of God, no man forbidding him. And so when you look at the benefits that we as, camps do or congregations, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call us, man. We're just brethren, man, gathering together, sisters gathering together. You know what I'm saying? And even from camps, you know what I'm saying, come all this type of stuff, keeping the commandments, preaching the kingdom of the Most High, right? Brothers, getting on one another, you know what I'm saying, and sharpening each other up, man. Right? Proverbs 27:17. Hey, guess what? If you're a man in this truth and you have a wife and you have daughters, you have sons, who do you want them to marry, man? You want them to marry some Jake in the world or some Eve in the world, right? Who are you going to go to? That's why you also have congregations, so that they may marry within with like-minded individuals, right? And create even more Israelites in this thing, right? So we can get the hell out of here, right? Because the Lord said, when you teach these commandments to your children and you start keeping these commandments as well, we're going to get out of here, man, right? That's Deuteronomy chapter 30. So, brothers, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason also why we also are in congregations too. You got to keep that in mind. You can't just be thinking about yourself. I'm solo, bolo. I'm Paul. I'm by myself. Brother, hey, brother. Burning
Hey,
up in
you
the sweat. Yeah, Con, he in the corner.
not Paul, man.
Right, you're not Paul. All right. And Paul, again, Paul was with other people. He was even with other sisters helping him out, man. He had
Mm-hmm.
sisters help him out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, brother, kind of like, I'm a eunuch in this thing, just by yourself. And you in the corner just sweating. In the court sweat. Man. The Lord said, hey, it is better to marry than to burn. Huh? Just come on, brother. Right? So, but brothers want to do that. All right, all praises, King. All right, come. But hey, reality is, man, what we're gonna do is we're gonna continue to praise the Most High in truth and sincerity through the Spirit, congregating with like-minded individuals, because that's what the Lord wants us to do. And don't be an individual like, man. Get in this thing. I mean, in order for you to keep the feast days, you gotta congregate, right? Hey, FaceTime is not enough, man. Right? What you think the Lord is about FaceTime? Right? The Lord is just FaceTime the apostles. hey, even Paul, man. When you read 2 Corinthians, he said, this is the third time I'm coming to you. So he was making trips to and from. He was seeing them. It's like, look, Paul, he wanted to see them in the flesh. You want to have that same spirit, right? Hey, guess what? I'm going back up to the Bay, right? To see my brothers in the Bay, man. You know what I'm saying? Through spirit. Hey, Lord willing. So it's about seeing them in the flesh. Phone call is cool. FaceTime is cool, right? But seeing each other in the flesh, that's the utmost, right, thing that you could do. All right. So yeah, Khan, just would bring that out, man. So with that, all praise YAHAWASHI, Hamashiach, Wamalaki YAHAWASHI. Again, this brother Yasha Ali.
Brother Sirach.
Brother Gat.
Brother, you want it, Thon?
Khan coming back to y'all yet another video through the spirit power YAHAWASHI, Hamashiach YAHAWASHI, Shabbat Shalom to the 12. Hey, and Kwame Yasha Ali, man. Kwame Yasha Ali.
Come here, Charlotte.
Oh, yes, Riley.
And hey, see that? Hey, Judah Mighty just kind of hopped in this thing at the last. Hey, Khan, Shalom, King Khan. That's right.
Shalom, shalom.
All
Y'all about
praise.
to Shabrakata.
Y'all about to see Shabbat Khan.